Okay, so a Virgo moon. And before I go more into a Virgo moon and typically what you would expect to see from someone with a Virgo moon, I just want to briefly mention how, because we are all the signs of the zodiac, essentially expressed in different degrees and intensities, we can have other planets and energies and elements within our chart that can essentially like overpower or water down our moon sign. And so this is for someone who has a strong Virgo moon. Someone with a Virgo moon is going to be someone who is a nurturer, someone who is a giver, someone who wants to be of service to people, and someone who is very, very analytical and intellectual. Virgo is ruled by Mercury and it's a mutable earth sign, which means that essentially a Virgo energy has a broad range of energy that they can express and that they can exist through. It's like on one hand, they can be very mental because of that Mercury energy, and they can be very detached. Like I was saying, they can be very intellectual, extremely analytical. But on the other hand of that Virgo energy, they can either be very emotional, or they can have a very great sweet spot of both, where they're balancing their mental and their emotional body. And so when they're more in that emotional sense, they're more balanced in their emotional nature and in their heart space. A Virgo moon is going to be someone who wants to be of service. They're going to be like the first person to offer themselves, to help and to, be of service and to help others in need. So they're very oriented to helping, giving, and nurturing people, even when they don't necessarily need it. So because Virgo is ruled by Mercury, like I was saying, not only does that make a Virgo energy extremely analytical and really able to dissect things. They're able to see things for what it is and then dissect it even further and truly get to the bottom of it and understand it on a very deep level. So not only do they have that, because of that Mercury influence, but when a Virgo moon is very balanced within themselves, and especially their throat chakra, they have amazing powers of communication. And like I was saying before, because they're really able to see things, they're really able to be practical and grounded and stable and step back and be detached in a way and objective. They're really able to see things objectively. And because of that, if they're having a conversation with someone or a debate or a disagreement with someone, they're really able to step back and understand both sides of the situation. Not only are they able to deeply understand their own perception, their own thoughts, and clearly relay that, they're also able to understand the other person's thoughts, the other person's feelings and perceptions, and they can literally lay out both sides or all sides involved and accurately lay out what each person is feeling, what each person needs. They'll really be able to accurately come up with solutions and conclusions to how to move forward in the best way possible for all parties involved. And so one other quality of this Mercury energy that Virgo is blessed with is, because they're so critical, because they're so analytical, they're really great with numbers. They're really great with accounting, math, science, astrology, anything that takes a very deep study and analysis and thought. A Virgo moon has just got it like so easy. They just have it like a piece of cake. It's really not much for them to really sit there and analyze through something and really tackle something and get down to the bottom of it. It's like a great superpower that they have. And because Virgo is a earth sign, it makes them very grounded, practical, and stable, especially within their emotional nature and within their moods. And so that's a great quality that they have. And unlike, the other earth signs, because Virgo is a mutable sign, it's a lot easier for a Virgo to change, for them to change their mind, for them to change their energy, for them to change their perception. It's a lot easier than the other earth signs to change, even though it might not necessarily be easy to change, but it's easier typically than the other earth signs. And because Virgos have this, analytical but also earth practical energy to them, not only are they able to really understand what they need out of life in order to excel what they need to work on and, balance within themselves, they're really able to also do this for other people. They're really able to, like I was saying earlier, be objective and step back, and because they're so analytical, they're really able to easily see what other people need to excel and to move forward within their life and within themselves. So one other quality that the Virgo is blessed with, with being a earth energy, is that they're very money and security oriented. A Virgo moon is going to be someone who likes to be stable. Like I was saying, they like to be stable, they like to be practical, and they like for things to be almost like laid out for them. They don't like surprises. They don't like for things to be all up in the air. They like things to be organized. They're very, very big on organization, whether it's them doing it themselves or whether that's their life being organized. And so because of that, Virgos are really great, at attaining money and attaining security in that sense, and really attuning to their 3D world and what they need to do within their 3D world to be stable and to be comfortable, essentially, materially and financially. So one other quality of that Virgo moon that's a really great light aspect to them, before we get into the shadow aspect, is that a Virgo moon is very, very body conscious in many ways. So Virgo rules the digestive system, and so a Virgo moon, their digestive system and what they eat, their diet, is going to be very important for them, and their bodies essentially are very sensitive to what they eat. So it's very important for a Virgo moon to pay attention to what their body really, really needs and what their body, their digestive system, is communicating to them, because that is crucial in affecting their energy and helping them excel within their energy. And so not only are they very conscious as far as what they're eating, but they're also very body conscious. Like I was saying, a Virgo moon and Virgo energy in general is going to be very attuned to fitness, going to be attuned to working out and like keeping their body healthy. A Virgo is very much into health and being eco-friendly, their earth signs. So they're very attuned to, like I was saying, their bodies, what they're putting in their bodies, but also what they're doing for their bodies and how they're taking care of their physical vessel. So on the other side of this Virgo moon energy, some shadow aspects of this Virgo moon energy is that because a Virgo moon is very attuned to their 3D world and what's here for them to work on and focus on and build upon, that can essentially take away from the Virgo moon paying attention to their spiritual body and their spiritual needs. Pisces is the opposite side of Virgo, and so Pisces has the opposite lesson. They're so spiritual, they're so like up there in this whole other realm that they have to learn how to ground into the 3D and ground into their physical world. But Virgo, on the other hand, is the opposite of that. So they have to learn how to kind of like drift away essentially a little bit from this 3D world, not even a little bit, a lot from this 3D world, and learn how to balance and merge their 3D desires, their 3D ambitions with their spiritual body and with their spiritual body needs, and how to attend to their spiritual needs and becoming aware of that. Another quality that a Virgo moon has within their shadow aspect is that because they're so analytical, because they're so critical, this can lead to them being like perfectionists within themselves, within others, wanting everything to be perfect. Everything needs to be organized. But in addition to that, they can be too critical of their self, too hard on their self, too hard on others, because they're also so hard on themselves. So they really have to learn how to balance their analytical, critical energies and not be so hard on themselves and on others. And really just shy away from being too nitpicky and too fixed within who they are, because they're an earth sign, and earth doesn't easily move, doesn't easily change. Luckily they have that mutable energy to help them, but they also have to learn to work through that fixed energy. And like I was saying earlier, because a Virgo moon can express itself in so many different ways, just depending on where they're at within their self, they can either be too sensitive and too, hurt by other people's thoughts or words or actions, or they can be too cold, they can be too detached, just really not feeling through their emotional body and essentially being too mental. So they can be too mental or too sensitive within their emotional body. So when they're in that very mental state, they have to learn how to feel through their emotions. And when they're in more of an overly emotional place, they have to learn how to really tap into their mental body, because that's a natural skill that they have, being ruled by Mercury. So another quality and downside that they can have is that they can be too body concerned, and that essentially like bleeds over into their perfectionist ways, where they're too concerned with their body being perfect. They're too concerned with their diet being perfect and being strict. And so they have to almost learn how to like relax in that sense and flow and not be so hard on themselves in all the different ways, but definitely as far as their body and what they're giving to their body, what they're putting into their body. So if you're someone with a Virgo moon, or you know someone with a Virgo moon, a really great tip I would say is to definitely try to relax as much as possible. Try not to be so hard on yourself. Try not to be so hard on other people, and try not to have such high expectations for yourself and for others, because a Virgo moon and a Virgo energy in general is very intuitive, and they naturally see everything. They have to learn how to balance that out, and like I was saying, not be so critical, not be so hard. But in addition to that, very, 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 very important to pay attention to your digestive system. Like I was saying, pay attention to your body and what your body is telling you when you eat certain things, when you do certain things, what feels good, what doesn't feel good, and really honor that, because you're ruled by the digestive system. That really plays into your energy and how you feel throughout your everyday. So definitely tap into, like I was saying, your diet, tap into what you're ingesting, but also learn your dosha. It's an Ayurvedic concept, and it's essentially a mind-body dosha that tells you what we all need within our mind body to have a balanced dosha. So definitely tap into your dosha, but just in general, definitely keep yourself engaged in fitness and working out, whichever way that manifests for you. It can be in home, it can be at the gym, it could be running, it could be yoga, it could be Tai Chi, it could be Pilates, it can be so many different things. So definitely just paying attention to what your body needs and honoring that, because that'll just completely change your energy and the energy that you have, to use throughout your everyday. And lastly, like I was saying earlier, learn how to really pay attention to how to merge your spiritual body, your spiritual energy with this 3D world. Don't be so concerned with the 3D world, with money and with stability. Really, really, really merge yourself with your spiritual self, with your emotional body, so that you're balanced with your mental body, your emotional body, and your spiritual body, and your physical 3D world. So on the one hand, it's like you have someone who is very analytical, very intelligent, someone who is extremely intuitive, humble, here to be of service, giving, loving, nurturing, someone who's really able to help us understand what we need out of life, someone who's really able to be there for us in so many different ways and inspire us through their service. But on the other hand of that energy, we can have someone that is too critical, too analytical, too nitpicky, too hard on themselves and others. They can be too fixed and too detached, too much in their mental body, where they're not balancing out, their spiritual body, their emotional body. So really learning to feel through their feelings and feeling through their heart to be of service, and using all that drive that they have for security and stability within their 3D world, and providing that within the external world, whether that's showing people how to be stable, how to be practical, how to get everything that you need out of life, or it can even play out in the sense of, like I was saying, being of service to the world and putting out their energy in that 3D sense and helping people, helping the planet, helping animals. And so that is someone who has a Virgo moon.